What's up, Epic 7? TristenWulf here, bringing you the news of the day. That's right, it's maintenance day, and we have got some information that just dropped on the stove site. So we're going to go over all of this. It's a lot. It's a lot of information to post, so we're going to breeze through this pretty quickly, and we'll go over it in more detail on tonight's podcast. So make sure you join us right after maintenance for our post-maintenance podcast. Let's start out with the last post here, 6th World Celebration 14-day check-in event. For those of you who are familiar with the way like an advent calendar works, it's kind of the same thing. For across 14 days, starting tomorrow, there will be a check-in event where you'll get gold, leaf, Molagora, but also on day number 7, you're going to get one of those 5-star RGB guaranteed 5-star tickets. Now, this is not a selector, it's just a guaranteed 5-star artifact ticket. And then on the 14th day, you'll get one of those 5-star units tickets on the 14th day. So across 2 weeks. You don't have to log in every single day. This is consecutive check-ins, and it's usually across several days. The 14-day check-ins start from your first login period, but you got a little bit more than 2 weeks. So if you miss a day, it's not that big of a deal. You'll just you'll miss a day, and then this will be your next login's reward. But don't miss too many days, or you could miss out on that last 5-star ticket. Next on the list is the Origin Update Free Covenant Summon event. So they're doing a special free Covenant Summon event where every single day for an entire week, you're going to get 10 additional free summons. So that's 11 summons per day for a total of 77 free units across the 7 days. So just when you do your normal Covenant summons, you'll be able to check in and summon for 11 units for an entire week. A nice little celebration, especially good for all of the new players who will be, just getting started in Epic 7 for the Origin Update. Next on the list of crazy stuff coming our way is the Origin Celebration Weekend Buff event. That's right. Unlike all but 3 weekends this year, we once again have a buff event happening the entire weekend. So don't worry, your Burning Passion packs will be back, so you can buy your leafs and you can get your farm on. Gear, AP, experience, rune drops, whatever you need. The events will be happening this weekend, including all buffs going on concurrently on Monday. And of course, we have a free unequip, less because it's a special event and more because it's a balance patch going live, and we always get free unequip for those. So enjoy your free unequip, which should be active as we speak throughout the weekend. Next is the Vildred Sword of Summer Twilight raid up. I'm not even going to click on it. You guys should not be pulling on Vildred or Sword of Summer Twilight, even if you believe a collaboration is not happening. We've got all these new Epic 6 units. We've got Krau coming. We're rolling into summer where there'll be summer units. Vildred is a nice unit for a speed imprint. If you are trying to work on getting your Vildred's max speed imprint in place, you're a late game player and you know what you're doing anyway, you don't need advice. But if you're a relatively new player, I don't care how many tier lists you've seen that say Vildred is OP, those tier lists are outdated. You should not be pulling for this unit. You should be saving for something current and relevant. If you really want Vildred, use one of your selector tickets for them. Also, we have Guard Captain Krau and Thorn of the Blue Rose drop rate up. This will be going live right after maintenance. You'll be able to pull for Guard Captain Krau. He's a fire warrior. I'll have a separate video going over his kit, letting you know, is he a skip or is he a must-have? How good is he? And how good is his artifact? And if it's best in slot or if there are better options. We'll discuss that in another video. For right now, all I will tell you is he looks like the quintessential perfect bruiser. If you like playing slow, if you like playing standard, if you want a good, solid bruiser unit, you like somebody who can take a punch and give a punch, he's probably a good unit for you. If you like to cleave, you like to play fast, you like to get in and out and be done, if you're a PvE Andy and you don't care about PvP, he's maybe not so important, but he is the MC of Chapter 6, and holy crap, he is cool. So, you guys got to make that decision on your own. I'll put up a video in a little bit discussing his kit. Okay, that brings us down to the Epic 7 Origin Update. This is the meat and potatoes of it, so let's check out what this update has in Part 1. The update's so big, they got to put 2 parts together for it. First things first, I wanted to point this out to you that previous exploration reward records will be reset, except as Mechalice of Cycle. This is Nightmare Raid and Hell Raid. Any of you guys thinking that you could go spend your bug charms, hoping that Asmachals would be reset so you could go in and do Nightmare Raid twice in 1 month? Sorry, you guys are SOL. There is no reset on Raid. So save your bug charms. Don't do it early. A Resolve Inherited update. The sixth world restored with the advent of the archdemon and Orbis, guardians, heirs, and heir of the covenant Ras embark on a long journey to save the world. For those of you living under a rock and don't know the story, the archdemon arrives every 100 years, and Diche sends her avatar Ras. Ras Eclair is the heir of the covenant. The covenant is that when the archdemon appears, Ras will arise, awaken, and defeat the archdemon, saving the world. And this has happened several times. For hundreds of years, Ras has always awakened, except for the last time when he failed and was killed by the archdemon. That's when Diche resets the world and wipes everyone's memory, starts with a fresh new batch of heirs, rebuilds the world, and that's when we go from the sixth world to the seventh world. The intro scene, you see Ras fail and die, and Diche reset the world. But that does not mean that Ras has failed every single time. He usually wins hundreds of times, and that's the covenant. That is why everybody looks to Ras as the hero, because he always wins. And the 5 times he's failed before, nobody remembers that, because Diche's server resets and wipes that information from the minds of humanity. So whether or not we're going back to a sixth world that Ras wins, or the final sixth world where Ras fails, is still kind of up in the air and unknown. But it is the sixth world with all new heirs, because heirs do not revive when Diche resets the world. Krau is not an heir in the sixth world, because he is an heir in the seventh world. If he was an heir in the sixth world, he wouldn't exist in the seventh world. So a lot of things are going to be different. We're not going to have Vildred being a bad guy anymore. How's this going to affect Diene? Diene would never have been propped up by the church as a saint. Would she have ever become queen? Or is she just still a nun in an abbey somewhere? So much of this story is going to be interesting to see what happens, and the freaking fully powered up, non-weakened Diche Ras. We're going to see, like, literally embodiment of a goddess level power on Ras. So there's so much cool things that will happen in this world. And here you go. Here's the map for the sixth world, what the world looks like in Epic 6. This will be Chapter 6. This will be your first 4 chapters. This doesn't mean this is what Chapter 1 is going to change to. This is Chapter 1 of Episode 6. And we're going to have 4 chapters so far. Wetherick Mora, Dunblyria, Terranor, and Azera. The lobby illustration is going to be changed to Victorica, and there's nothing you can do about it. It will automatically be updated when you log into the game. Everybody is going to have this as their lobby. And if you don't like this, you want to go back to your old lobby, you can change it. You just got to manually go into your lobby settings and switch it back. There'll be some additional illustrations that'll be unlocked in the journal once you complete it. New monsters will be added. Who doesn't love new monsters? 5 new background tracks of music will be added to the player. Great. The Ogre's Armory will be added. So this is a big one. Ever since the dash event for Epic 7, ever since the dash event for Epic 7, we've been asking for ever since the Epic Dash event for the 6th anniversary, we've been asking for the return of the Goblicus Armory, because it was such a boon to newer players to be able to get that low-end gear to get them started that would allow them to get into the PvE of the game so they could progress. And Smilegate did us one better, and they've created the Ogre's Armory. The Ogre's equipment. It has got 3 stages, easy, normal, and hard, probably with escalating quality of gear. So brand spanking new players will probably do Ogre 1 and work their way up to Ogre 3. And once you kind of start getting gear from Ogre 3, maybe by 1 or 2 months into the game, you'll have enough gear and enough experience and enough units under your belt, you'll be able to progress into things like Wyvern, into things like Banshee. But this is great because a lot of people are like, I can't do Banshee yet. I haven't finished my cigarette quest yet. I haven't gotten my Furious yet. And I can't do these things because I don't have the gear to progress in the story. It fixes all of those roadblock issues. Now, for those of you who've been playing longer than 6 months, this doesn't matter at all. Probably, maybe, likely doesn't matter at all. This is a new player tool to help them get started 10 times a day. I'm sure it's not 10 per each stage. It's like you could do 3, 3, and 4, right? But you'll be able to get speed set, crit damage set, and HP set. The 4 are the most important, we'll call it a bootstrapping sets that you need to get yourself up and running in this game. Our armory costs 8 energy per entry, 10 entries per day. You can bring your guardians and support sets in here. Goes over again what sets you can collect, crit, destro, HP, and speed. It requires significantly less XP to level these gear, which means you'll use less resources and less gold to level it up. So it'll be easier not only to get the gear, but to build the gear. This is so nice quality of life for newer players. Again, if you're a veteran, this means nothing to you. It's just, this is for helping out the new guys. The gear looks actually a lot better. The only thing I see that's kind of stinky is the speed. You know, you can only get speed. Min or max, you can only get 2 speed. So nobody's going to be able to take goblin gear and use it to get in and start cleaving, right? Nobody's going to want to farm this to try to chase speed. The start stats are very low. A very low crit start, a very low crit damage start. All the start stats are close to minimum or at minimum. But the enhancement values are actually really good, right? 85 gear, these stats go from 4% to 8%. This stat goes from 4% to 7%. Significantly better improvement on the stats, with the exception of speed is worse and crit chance is the same. But everything else, it's actually easier to roll better gear. It's just off of a very low initial value. And you can't reforge it. So I'm estimating the value of this gear to be somewhere around level 70, level 67 to level 70 gear. It's going to be better than the Goblicus gear, but not a lot better, and still something new players are not going to be interested in. Another nice thing about this gear is rings, necks, and boots will always roll percent-based rolls. Well, I mean, except for speed on the boots, of course. You don't have to worry about going in and running your 10 runs and walking out with 10 flat defense rings or 5 flat HP necks and a flat defense boot. It's not going to happen. You're always going to get usable functional stats, main stats on your gear. Whether or not the substats are functional, that's another story, but at least you have that going for you to help you get into the game. They are redesigning the Orbis guide, adding support to heirs through the journey. Again, if you're a veteran player of this game, probably not that big of a deal. You already know the P's and Q's about how Epic 7 works, because for 99% of this, it's slapping a new coat of paint on an existing system. We're not talking about a lot of restructuring under the hood. We're talking about UI adjustments, quality of life, refinement of resources, making things easier to understand. But even with all of that, having a new player guide for the Orbis, for Epic 7 is great, because it is a complicated game, probably more complex and involved than any other mobile game on the market, MMO level complex. So this is really good that new players are going to get an Orbis guide. They will also be updating the Three Sisters Diary. Rewards from weekly, daily reputations will now be obtained through the Orbis guide into the Three Sisters Diary. You'll go into your Orbis guide, go into your Three Sisters Diary. This is where all your reputation stuff is. They're removing the Heart of Orbis, getting rid of those rewards, and they're pulling them into the daily reputation rewards. They're improving these rewards to make up for the loss of the Sky Stones and gold you got from resetting your Heart of Orbis. This is a win-win, guys. Path of the Heir. So Path of the Heir is going to be under the Orbis guide section once again, right below Three Sisters. And this is your new Adventurer's Path. Depending on how far you got through Adventurer's Path, it's going to have you placed differently in here. This isn't going to be just reset for everybody. Anything that wasn't an Adventurer's Path that's in here, you'll be able to collect. If you cleared something in Adventurer's Path and did not collect it, make sure you collect it, because it will not grandfather over. Your progress will grandfather over, but any unclaimed rewards, gone. So make sure you cleared as much of Adventurer's Path as you can before the update, because once it's gone, and you will be into the Path of the Heir instead. A Journey of Succession. So once again, Journey of Succession will be in the Orbis guide section. Quick links to the hunts, the different challenges like Rift, Hall of Trials, showing you what you can get. It's just a much cleaner way to see what you're getting into. There'll be shortcuts added to the Orbis guide to let you be able to get to areas where the currency that you need. Like you need penguins, you can click go, it'll take you to the places where you can go to level up your penguins. Hero Grease. So again, making it cleaner, easier to access. Nothing functional changing in the game here, just a cleaner, more intuitive UI that isn't buried under 10 million submenus. This is also going to guide people to accessibility for gameplay, and this is really nice. This guide section, I've seen this in a lot of games, and Epic 7 hasn't had it, but it's really nice to let you know that, hey, you got 12 days left to do your Tower of Automation. You can go to it. You got 22 days left to finish your Asmacalisis cycle. Go to it. You got to make sure you clear Abyss Floor 10 to get these rewards. So if you're not sure what to do in Epic 7, you can check your guide, and it's going to give you a menu of the things that you need to do before you run out of time. Very nice quality of life. Again, no functional changes, just better. And man, is this not the most empty-looking sanctuary you have ever seen? Sanctuary's cleaned up, and now all we have is the Forest of Souls, Heart of Orbis, and Alchemist Steeple. Breath of Orbises are the currency for upgrading your Alchemist Steeple, and Breath of Orbis was the currency we used to use to upgrade the places in the sanctuary, and that is gone with the advent of Epic 6. Now they're removed, and all your sanctuary buildings are going to be max. So no more trying to figure out what you're going to put your Heart of Orbises into. It's all clean. Everything's max. We'll be getting a new currency called Tainted Relics, and these can be used for summoning a specific item. When you get your Tainted Relics, you can use them to purify the Heart of Orbis to get randomly one of the items that are shown at B tier. These are the random items, and I could use my purification, or I could save my Tainted Relics up to get better ones later. You'll be able to upgrade your Heart of Orbis by doing things in the game, summoning, etc., all the way up to Triple S. And here's the list of all the things that you can get from your random purification. Now remember, when you purify, you're going to get one of these things randomly. I don't think it's selectable, guys. I think there's a gotcha to it. We'll have to see. And it tells you how long it resets. We have to see how hard it's going to be to get to this Triple S, because this is what everybody has their eye on, right? Is the Triple S. This is where that 23 speed weapon was. This is where that 52 armor was. This is where that Moonlight summon ticket was. That 5-star ML summon ticket. What's it going to take to get to Triple S grade, and can it be done free to play? Are the points needed to level up to Triple S going to require more than free-to-play level summoning and everyday gameplay? Are they going to be sold in packs? Or is this something that'll be obtainable and just about anybody can do it as long as they play every day? We're going to have to see if this is a win or a lose. Hopefully it's good. But for those of you who thought for sure I'm getting 23 speed weapon every single month, nah, fam. You get to Triple S Plus, you grind that Heart of Orbis Triple S Plus, and you have got a gotcha chance to get any one of these items. Nothing's guaranteed, it seems. But, you know, there's some pretty decent ones all the way down. So it's kind of nice they're changing this. We just have to see how clean it is and how free to play it is, or how scummy pay to win it is. Kind of up in the air. We won't really know until we get into the update. They're changing the maximum number of penguins and spirit balloons you can get from, 10 to 50. I think this is a pretty big fail. I did an entire video on that. I'm not going to go over it again, but hopefully they adjust this up to a reasonable number that's greater than 50. Improvements to the Alchemist Steeple for charms, good. Equipment conversion and exclusive equipment conversion, previously available in the Alchemist Steeple, moved to the Steel Workshop, makes sense. Alchemist Steeple will be improved to allow equipment extraction when crafting charms. Nice, you don't have to jump to another window to extract it, to jump back to craft your charms. Cleaner, more intuitive, and making sense. Crafting catalysts and crafting materials feature will be removed from the Alchemist Steeple because we're basically getting rid of most of that stuff. Steel Workshop will be removed from the Sanctuary entirely and accessed through a separate menu. You notice there's no Steel Workshop up here. So they're moving that out of the Sanctuary and into a separate menu. And High Command is just gone. Rip your dispatch missions. No more dispatch missions. And nobody cared. They're making the Steel Workshop cleaner, more intuitive, easier to use. I'm disappointed they're not addressing the just straight up bad gear system we have. They need to make some fundamental improvements to the way gearing works. Get rid of 1 speed for the love of God. Maybe even get rid of 2 speeds on red, make 5 speeds a little bit more common on red, as well as adjusting other stats, fix the Reforge mat system. There's a lot of things they could do to tweak the system that would make it less god-awful painful. 4 to 8 is a giant spread for RNG on rolling stats. Maybe tighten that down. I mean, heck, the Ogres can do 6 to 8. Why can't these do 6 to 8? There's things they could do to make crafting not feel as awful as it is. They're getting rid of the catalyst system and integrating it into a hero token system. So gone are all of the, really cool art, powders and cursed bubble gums and books that aren't called books, and they're being replaced by these rare catalysts and epic catalysts that are class specific. And yeah, it hurts a little bit to see the really cool art and personality that our old catalysts have being replaced by something as kind of boring as a coin with the image of this class stamped on it. But remember, this is done for the sake of simplicity and understanding. This is a lot more intuitive, better for newer players. These are going to be your rare katas, and they're class specific. All warriors will use this one. All knights will use this one. And then the epic versions will look the same, but they'll be golden in color. Labyrinth revamp. So we're revamping the Labyrinth as well, including the Royal Capital Asmocalis. That is not Nightmare Raid. That is the normal Labyrinth Asmocalis. And they will be permanently accessible without any currency cost, so you can go in as often as you want. It doesn't cost a dime to go in and do that. Because of that, they're removing the drop rewards from all monsters. So you can't just go in for free, farming monsters for free stuff at no stamina cost. It's to prevent abuse. All you Euphine Labyrinth enthusiasts, I'm sorry, that will no longer work. But they're making it so it's free to go in, so no more getting to the end of the month and going, oh no, I don't have any Labyrinth bug charms, I can't do raid this month. Just go in and do it whenever you want. Due to the changes from Labyrinth exploration rewards, previous reward acquisition records will be reset, so it looks like we might be able to go in and do Labyrinth a second time. No friendship will be incurred when you're camping, so you can no longer camp for friendships for the 6 of you who actually did that. Unlock conditions for certain labyrinths will be adjusted, of course, because we're changing the game in general. And they're changing the currencies, right? So any malicious bug charms you have will be converted into guard badges. We don't know by how much. We assume 1-for-1 ratio. Any labyrinth compasses you have will be turned into conquest points. We don't know by how much. I'm assuming a 1-to-40 ratio, but we'll have to see. And ancient coins will be changed into lesser accessory charms. We don't know by how much, but I'm assuming 30 ancient coins will become 1 lesser charm. We'll have to see, though, after the update hits. Accessory charms that were previously bought in the Labyrinth shop, that's the Labyrinth shop. That's not the shop inside the Labyrinth. That's the Labyrinth shop in your shop section. We use ancient coins. They're just moving these accessory charms into the arena shop, into the conquest points shop, and you'll use conquest points to buy them. I know that feels like an extra drag on the conquest points, because with the loss of dispatch missions and the increase in things we have to buy from the conquest point shop, it's going to feel like a net negative. They are increasing the amount of conquest points you get from doing arena to help compensate. I don't think it quite goes far enough, but hopefully if it doesn't, they'll adjust it up higher so that we don't feel as much of a pinch on our charm acquisition with this change. This change is meant to be a quality of life change, not a punishing change. The number of hunt stages will be reduced to 3. There is no more Wyvern 13. There is no Wyvern 10. There's no more Wyvern 6. There's just Wyverns 1, 2, and 3, or normal, hard, and hell. So I suspect this is going to be the equivalent of Wyvern 9. This is going to be the equivalent of Wyvern 11, and this is going to be the equivalent of Wyvern 13, just to make it cleaner. And anybody that can't handle Wyvern 9 and above, that's what the Ogre shop is for. They're removing all gear that's below level 70 from this. And that's because gear that's below level 70, well, that's Ogre shop level gear. That's what you'd farm Ogre for. They're also removing the low tier crafting materials because, of course, we're removing the low tier hunts. As a result, any low tier crafting mats that you currently own are going to be converted into level 85 crafting mats at whatever the ratio is automatically for you. Rounded up, I'm sure. And the adventure system is going to be changed to use a list style function. Because of this list style function, special stories will be going away. You know how like when you go into chapter 2 and you're on like zone 6 and you can go to zone 6-1, 6-2, 6-3 and 6-3 branches, and there's 6-4 over here and then 6S1 and 6S2, the special 1, special 2. All of those special missions are gone. They're going away. So if you haven't finished any of those, you want to go in and do that. And the reason they're going away is those wouldn't play well with a list style, do it in this order system. Those of you who really enjoyed the map interface, yeah, it kind of sucks to lose that graphical interface, but this does make more sense. It is more concurrent with the way modern games work. So I get why they're doing it. We just have to get used to it. Selective summon discontinuation. This is a big one. This has caught some people's eyes. When you used to be at the end of season 1 and 2, you got a selective summon for units that were available in season 1 and units that were available in season 2. They're doing away with that, and they're replacing it with a 5-star hero selector and a 5-star artifact selector from episodes 1 and 3, which you'll get through the hero's path upon completing those sections in the hero's path. Now, I am not sure how this reads. If they're saying that you will get a 5-star selector and a 5-star artifact selector from season 1, and then you'll get a 5-star unit and a 5-star artifact from season 3, which I would be fine with. That's better than before. That's 2 units and 2 artifacts. Or if you're going to get a selector for season 1 and an artifact selector from season 3, if it's just one of each, we'll have to see. I would be surprised if Smogate roll rewards backwards. That doesn't make sense. Again, these are all about quality of life and making things more intuitive, not about changing the reward structure. But we'll have to wait and see. Some people are concerned because down here it says the hero selector and the artifact selector from episode 1 and 3 will be obtained after the update, regardless of whether selective summons was previously completed or not. A lot of people are thinking it's just one of each, but I still think it might be 2. We'll have to see. If you have not completed your selective summon, please make sure you do so before the maintenance. Make sure you get that summon done. Otherwise, no double dipping for you. Rift, we're lowering it to rank 50 to get into Rift, which makes sense. The Goblicus gear should be enough to get you up and running in Rift. This is clearly a mandate that they're making Rift a little bit easier, a little more new player friendly. Other content changes, newbie penguins and lesser spirit blooms. People were wondering, well, what do we request now in guilds? That the crafting mats are being removed. The lower crafting mats are being removed. Well, here is your answer. You'll be able to request newbie penguins and lesser spirit blooms in place of those crafting mats that are being removed from the request. They're also removing the blessing of healing because no guilds were buying it, and those that were wasting gold because nobody cared. Charms previously sold are being replaced with equipment accessory charms. The minimum level of fully crafted equipment attainable for World Boss is going to be changed to level 71 or higher, so people who are not doing very well in World Boss or getting crappy gear will now get better gear. Auto run and objective usage will be enabled during progress, except Labyrinth. So when you run to this pile of rubble, you're still going to stand there running into it forever until you actually click on the screen because reasons. Some Abyss wards will be improved. I'm curious about this one. What about those of us who already cleared the Abyss? Are we going to get those better rewards grandfathered in? I sure hope so. I hope there'll be things in the Abyss waiting for us. Otherwise, yay for new players, I guess. Sucks for the rest of us. Rewards and new returning eras will be partially revamped, which makes sense. It's a whole new system. Again, your lobby UI is going to be revamped. It's going to look like this when you first log in. If you don't like the Victoria picture, you can change it through your lobby settings. But this is cleaner. This makes more sense. This is less cluttered. It doesn't look awful. I really, really like it. You'll be able to program your favorites, your quick menus, and this is really, really nice so that you can have your quick options down here at the bottom be things that you want instead of things you don't use. Whew, that was a lot. And that was just part 1. Now let's go check out part 2. Part 2. Same update video we already watched. So regular banner arena, not RTA. Regular arena season is beginning. The frame distribution will go out for people that fought for the frames. There is no functional change to the arena system. They're still not resetting the scores, which means we'll still have the same insane bloat in the top 10. And people who are pushing for Legend Skystones, you really don't have a shot at doing that anymore. Hopefully Smogate addresses that and finds a way to repurpose those rewards or actually start resetting rank like they should have from the beginning and make the system better and more fun again. But at least the changes have made it possible to climb. Here are the new arena frames for next season. We'll zoom in a little bit here. So that's what you're looking at for the new frames for the up-and-coming arena season. Yeah, I mean, all right. I'm not overly excited about them, but they may look perfect with your waifu or husbando in their frame. So if you guys want to go for it, go for it. The Arena Battle Pass is going to be the same as past Arena Battle Passes with the exception of the gear is being changed out for an injury set. Now, this injury set is really, really well statted, okay? You've got 1 off maximum on every roll. For 88 gear, maximum is 9, 6, 8, but speed is at maximum. So maximum speed and 1 off maximum on all the other stats for a gear score of 39. This is just a half a step behind Ancient Inheritance level gear. It's like 3 gear score lower than AI gear. This is some of the best gear in the game. It's definitely worth getting and rolling. And if you want an injury set, now's your chance to get a banger injury set. New hero guard, Captain Krau. This guy looks so damn cool. So Krau is a fantastic bruiser knight. I will do a separate video all about Krau a little bit later. But right now, all I can tell you is if you like playing standard, if you like running bruisers, if you like the idea of a defense scaler who can self-heal, has got the versatility of choosing whether he does AoE or single targets based on soul burns, this guy's got a lot going for him. Do I think he's going to unbalance or upset the meta? No. Do I think he's going to be very usable within the meta? Yeah. I think he's a worthwhile pickup, and if you have the bookmarks and you're not terrified of running out for a random collab that might drop in our lap, I think he's a worthwhile pickup. If you're unsure, give it a few days. Wait and see how he tests out and then make an informed decision. He's not limited, so you'll be able to pick him up anytime you want. He does have a story, so after 6 months, you'll be able to activate his story summon and create his banner when the need suits you as well. Victorica. Victorica is a new 4-star unit, and you will get her for free when you clear episode 1-6. She is a free unit. And what's great about Victorica is Victorica seems like she is a PvE goddess. I will do an entire video about Victorica as well, because why the heck not? But I can tell you, she has got a fast turn down, and she has got a damage that bases on the enemy's HP, just like the major PvE units in the game, from everywhere from Soul Bad Guy to Bologna to Commander Larena. So very, very good unit for PvE. Will probably be instrumental in a lot of the new PvE Constellation system, anybody that's heading our way. And you get her for free. She will also be in the Covenant summon, so you'll be able to get dupes of her for imprints just by playing the game and doing regular summons. Krau's new side story. Remember I mentioned he is getting a side story, which means 6 months from now, when his side story hits the side story book, you'll be able to activate his side story and make him a custom summon down the road. If you decide you want to skip on him, you can pick him up later, or you can go ahead and go for him now. Just be aware that moving into summer, a lot of good things are coming our way. Make sure Krau is the style of play you want to play, that you've watched other people use them, that you're not just trusting reviews, that you've got empirical evidence that this guy is going to work for the way you play, the count you have, and is good in this game. I can't imagine that he's not going to be. And if he's just husbando for you, man, I think you get him because he looked cool as hell. What can I say? New exclusive equipment for Spirit Eye Celine. Surely this won't cause any problems, right? Let's see. We're giving her straight up like 18 to 20% more gear score. Wow. 12% crit chance is heckin' huge. That makes units so much easier to build, especially for high-speed DPS units. That means you can focus on dumbing down your crit a little bit to make her even faster. What's this do? When the caster uses a soul burn for the first time, increases damage dealt by 50%? Mother of God, 50? So instead of doing, I don't know, 20k damage, she's going to do 30k damage. Oh my God. That is a massive, massive damage boost from a soul burn, and it doesn't even cost her a soul. Want to stop her with Bellion? Get wrecked, buddy. You cannot stop this. She just soul burns the same way as this area. Now, it is only the first soul time she soul burns per battle. So you only get this once. And you won't get it twice. I guess you might get it twice with Dust Devil, but consider that if you kill and Dust Devil procs, Dust Devil won't actually proc. It only procs if the enemy struck isn't killed. So you don't have to worry about her doing a 50% damage boost into 2 units, kill. She'll only be able to kill 1. So that's at least good. But this basically lets you have a 270, 280 speed is not out of the question. 290 speed might even be possible. Nuking Spirit Eye Celine, who can erase anybody from the game. This seems to be directly in answer to Bystander Hua Young, to remove her from the game so that you can get on to do other things on top of a unit who can raise your whole team. And oh my God, Dust off your Spirit Eye Celine, guys. She is back and back with a vengeance. This seems overpowered, actually. This is the first unbalanced thing that I think I've seen in this patch note. Other improvements are they're making certain packs purchasable at any time. They're discontinuing garbage packs nobody cares about. They're adding all these new heroes to the draft mode arena. And the one thing that I will mention here is that they are moving unrecorded history into the Book of Memories, and to unlock it, it will cost you 100,000 gold. Unless you have already completed unrecorded history, then you can go in without purchasing it again. The big question I have is, will unrecorded be farmable? I don't think it will, because if you go into any Book of Memories, none of the fights in there. You're doing, I don't know, Eulogy for a Saint, for example. You'll notice you don't get any AP from Eulogy for a Saint, and there is no AP shop. It shows one, but it's grayed out. And if the same thing happens for unrecorded history, it's no longer grindable. And the only issue with that is regular adventure drops monsters, right? And those monsters will clutter up your inventory, and next thing you know, you're getting messages saying, hey, you gotta clear your inventory before you can restart your auto battle all the damn time. And we're sitting there getting rid of, transmitting and selling hundreds of monsters for minor amounts of stigma and gold, when we would just like to be able to go back in and play. That was the boon of unrecorded histories. There was no monster drops, which made it repeatedly grindable. So I'm hoping AP shop is still accessible and unrecorded is still a place for us to grind. If not, we'll just have to roll with it and find new places to grind our AP. And for those of you worried about AP, that is being pooled into all AP shops. All AP shops will see one single central pool, all your AP together, that can be used in any AP shop. So that'll be nice. Other things that came out is there is a Selective newsstand pack. Okay, it'll be in the corner. It's got Robin's face on it. Secretive newsstand, and this pack is kind of interesting. We'll have to see how it's priced. Remember, they can't show us prices because it's different from country to country, region to region. But in these packs, you'll be able to get these Robin Regulars coupons. And you'll be able to use these Robin's Regular coupons in a special pack shop to buy things. And in here, you've got a 5-star summon ticket, guaranteed 5-star unit, a guaranteed 5-star artifact. This one is 70 versus 45. I'm assuming that this is a guaranteed 5-star limited. The selectors look different. They're more yellow. It's not a selector, so it's probably this one's for regular RGBs and this one's for limited. It's got really good gear. And then for 110, we got these unique things. These are ML kinda selectors, right? The three choices, we've seen this before, where you buy it and there are 6 possible units, and randomly it picks 6 of those units and populates them on the screen, and you can select one of those 3 as your selector, which is great if you need at least 4 out of the 6 units. You're pretty much guaranteed that you're going to walk home with something you need. If you only need 1 out of those 6 units, then you're rolling the dice, like a 50-50 shot that it selects the one that you need instead of the 3 of the ones you don't. And it's expensive. 110 tickets to do, 110 coupons for this. How much money are we going to have to spend through this to activate it? So we'll have to see. This could be really expensive, or it could be, pretty good. We'll review it when it's out and the prices are known. In addition to actually celebrating Epic 7 by giving Smilegate money, we have got the Operation Catch a Zieg event. This is the one that's got everyone hyped. This starts on the 14th, not tomorrow. This starts Monday the 14th. Okay? Monday the 14th it starts, and it's separated into 4 weeks, and this is where you get all the free stuff that everybody got excited about. Right now we've got week 2 highlighted, so we know that the light ML summon is in week 2. We can assume the dark one is in week 3, and if there is a random ML one, maybe it's in week 1 or 4. We see here's the artifact selector. See, it's the more yellowy one. So this is the selector artifact one in week 3 or week 2. The unit selector ones could be week 3. The RGB non-selector unit could be week 1. The RGB non-selector artifact week 4. We won't know until it all comes out. There's also some really nice guides. There's also some really nice gear that you can pick up, and also these garbage mana stones that never work out for anybody. That you can pick up, and these are all bought with carrots. and you earn these carrots. The orange ones are probably week 1, the gold ones maybe week 2, or the orange ones might be for some lesser rewards that are off screen, and the gold ones are the greater rewards. We'll have to see what the different kind of carrots all are about. And you will get the carrots by spending energy, by completing things, by playing the game, right? By doing Rift, by doing Ogre's Armory, by doing Spirit Altar, by doing hunts, by doing Labyrinth. All the stuff that you would normally do playing the game is going to earn you the carrots. And the more energy you spend, the chance to earn the carrots increases and gets better. So it's going to be a grind. So remember when it said 3 tickets max? Those of you who thought that meant fully decked out, you're in for a rude awakening. It means that if you do these grinds and if you do these things, you can earn up to a maximum of that many tickets through this event. And if you don't do this event, you don't get bupkis, right? Max did not mean fully decked out. Get that out of your head. They always say fully decked out. Max simply meant that's the maximum number you can get if you participate in the event, grind it out, get the carrots. That's the maximum amount you can buy. Sorry if that rains on anybody's parade. In order to help us do this event, though, they're going to give us additional energy and additional quick battles. We get 200 additional stamina per day, which is really nice, and 10 additional quick battles per day. So, you know, it's nice. It just helps out, makes it feel a little less grindy, a little less time doing the menial stuff and more time exploring this new and updated Epic 7. And that's it, guys. That is the news for today. I hope you guys are as excited as I am about Epic 6. I hope you will join me and I'm Sue and Hinogen on tonight's podcast to go over all of this, as well as RTA and the futures of what Epic 6 holds for us. I wish you guys the best of luck on your tickets. Those of you who are getting ready to do those Mystic Summons, just kind of hold a little bit and maybe see if those selectors will arrive in your hands before that banner goes away. You would hate to select Luna and then she pops out of your selector ticket or out of your ML ticket. If the timing doesn't work out, you do you. You make those choices. I will catch you guys later tonight. Have a great one, Epic 7.